So my name is Jamie Broom, I'm 22. Boxed out of the Lion Gym, been training now five years, coming up to 5 years. Yorkshire champion, Angel of the North Box Cup winner open class, and looking forward towards the elite nationals. That's essentially where I'm at with my boxing at the minute. As a job during the daytime, mechanical engineer, just passed my apprenticeship, finished that off. So now I've got something to fall back on to follow on with boxing. That's what I'll be doing in a few years. Yeah, so I mean, obviously you've known me for years, you know what I was like in school, a bit of a soft lad, never was really a fighter, and then funny enough it was actually our friend Lewis Thompson who boxed. Went to watch that, thought like the event was really good, enjoyed it. Even though he didn't get the result, it was just such a good event, and I thought that's where I need to be to grow as a man, essentially.
So about 5 or 6 I took Jamie to Taekwondo. He only did it for about 3 or 4 months really. But what he did do is, because it's such a pattern orientated product, like you've got to get your steps right, hated it. But then the last 15 minutes, it was fine. And he used to love that. So hindsight, it was like, he didn't like doing all the patterns, he liked to be a bit more in a scrap, if you know what I mean, or a bit of a fight and having a bit of a laugh with his mates. So I should have thought then, oh, boxing's for him.
I've been coaching Jamie for about 8 years, I think he's been here. Talking about Jamie a little bit, he's one of the hardest workers that I've got in the gym.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie's pretty determined to do what he wants to do. So he works for a living like everybody does. He does his training 4 or 5 times a week. He runs home from work sometimes, or will go for a run. He sacrifices going out with his pal sometimes. He's just driven.
Yeah. I'll get yourself in the trouble.
Oh, it's on through legs.
That's not it.
Seven while 9, 7 o'clock while 8 o'clock, like drill work, working on tactics, trying to figure out what we're going to do in the next fight, trying to work on our weaknesses, and then 8 while 9 is sparring. We've got 2 or 3 seniors here that I mix with and train and spar with, and we spar in this very ring. And then on my off days, so that's on the Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and on my off days on a Monday, Wednesday, I'll go for a 5-mile run from work, run home from work, and then sometimes get work on a Sunday at another gym and stay sparring.
Jamie himself is quite motivated, and that's a nice thing to see himself. But for me to keep him motivated is show him where he's going, basically. Showing him the future of where he can possibly go.
You never know how far you're really going to go in boxing. It's such a competitive sport. You've got so many good guys, tough, strong lads. Of course, to be a world champion and to be multiple time world champion would just be the dream come true. Realistically, I think it's possible, but even if I can just achieve an English title and just work my way up and become a real contender in the game, I think that would be a real achievement as well, just considering I started at only 17 years old.
So, you know, at the start of the season, we set a goal for Jamie as to where we wanted him at the end of this season, and where we wanted him at the end of last season. So last season we made an aim that we were going to go into the developments and see how far he gets. He got to the quarterfinals, which is great. He became a Yorkshire champion. This year we're looking again, we've set him another challenge to enter the elites and go into the nationals. And I'm confident that he's going to do pretty well.
Yeah, so the elite nationals, obviously you've got development, which is under 20 bouts. This is the elite nationals where you're jumping up, taking on the country's best. It's essentially a knockout tournament like the Champions League in football. You've got round of 16, round of 8, round of 4, and you just keep on having to keep winning until you're essentially number 1. Some of the best have won it. AJ's won it, Ricky Hatton won it, loads of top fighters have won it. So if you can win that it just essentially shows to the promoters that I'm in business, you need to pick me in the pro game, and I think that's important as well.
Jamie will definitely turn professional, 100%. But I want him to be a good professional, so he's got to put the work in and try to achieve some things in the amateur game, get yourself known, and then push yourself forwards, because you want to be fighting for the British title, European title, and whatever else you can do from there. So yeah, just keep pushing yourself, and we'll always support him all the way.
I get a lot of pull-outs, unfortunately. I don't know if that's due to reputation or just really bad timing, but I've had so many pull-outs this season, and it is hard to stay focused, but you just always got to remember there's a bigger picture. It's not just about that amateur fight that you're having now, it's about when you're a pro, you need a skill set to compete with the world's best, and if you don't put the work in now, you're done, you've no chance.
Well, the biggest challenges recently that he's faced is people wanting to box him, because as you progress and get better and your name goes out there and people get to know you, people are a little bit hesitant to box you, and I don't know if that's been people pulling out with genuine. Whenever we've made a match for him to box, at least the last 7 boxers that I know of have pulled out on him, which is really astonishing, really, considering it's amateur boxing. And then moving on from that, I was hoping to get him into a development title this time round, but I've asked every single boxer in Yorkshire at his weight, and none of them have been strangely available.
I think Jamie likes when you video his fights, so one, he can look back and see what he's done right, what he's done wrong, and I think it helps me, calms me down, because I get really nervous before Jamie's fighting. And I think I'm quite lucky that the phones nowadays must have like a shake vibration thing on it that stops it, because my hands are literally shaking when he's fighting. But by videoing the fights, I think it calms me down. I have something to concentrate on rather than just watching the boxing. So yeah, it's quite a good thing to video him in a lot of ways.
You know, my dad, he's just awesome. Just travels everywhere, takes me to everywhere, and I never have to drive. He's always driving me to Hull, to Durham, to Nottingham, anywhere to box, even travel to London. And he records all of my fights so I can watch them back and learn. That's been a huge part of my growth, is that just, before I never really got to watch myself, never knew how good I was, never knew what I was doing wrong. My dad allows me to see that. And at the Angel and North Box Cup, because he's usually filming me like this, but he was able to just set the camera this time, so rather than focusing on filming, he was just watching the fight happen. And boy, I could hear him in the ring screaming, shouting, do this, do that, do this, and he was going crazy.
Really man, and the body's always available for a good shot.
When he started off, when he didn't want to spar initially, and I always knew that he was a bit hesitant to spar certain people, so I used to always throw him in with them people to spar with, to build his confidence. And he never said no. That's one thing about him. He never says no to anything. He gives everything a good go, and he does his best. And now he's reaping the rewards, being a Yorkshire champion that he is.
The first year or 2 years of sparring was just me getting beat up every single session. It was just ruthless. And you've just got to overcome that and keep going and going and going until you're the one that can dish out the beatings, and that's where I'm at now. So.
Go with the backhand, Jimmy, from this side. Go with the backhand when you use that side. Yeah?
Leave it, yeah?
Yeah, when you come across this side, just there, that's it. Well, he's not fighting, he's boxing. Jamie boxes and he moves. He can stand there with anyone toe to toe and have a go if he wants to. But the best way is to box your way out of things, duck and dive, move, and that's what he's doing. That's how I see how he fights the best. But again, if he needs to trade, he'll trade.
I am going pro soon, which is the name of the documentary, Turning Pro. So I will need the support for that massively. In the amateurs I don't ask for it because it's pointless. I think just go out there and learn boxing, but in the pro game I will need the support, and any support I can get would be awesome. So I really appreciate it if people turn in.